beautiful. It's Joe again, and I am back to talk about a life issue today. So, something I have been working on the last few days is updating my end of life, or in case I am unable to make decisions for myself, plans. And, it's a thing that a lot of people don't take care of, especially at my level of life. If you're rich, you tend to do things about it. But if you're not rich, you just kind of float along thinking, I should write my wishes down, and nothing happens. My mom passed away very unexpectedly several years ago, and we were not ready. My sister and I were scrambling. Her friends were an amazing help. I live a state away and had to rush back and help deal with the final things. It happened extremely quickly. And we were racking our brain trying to think of what she had said about final wishes, and things even that we kind of knew but were never written down didn't necessarily happen because other parties discussed and talked into it. If you want a funeral, tell them you want a funeral. If you want only a memorial service with no body, tell them that. If you do not want to be embalmed or you prefer to be cremated, those are things that the people in your life need to know. And if you don't feel comfortable having the discussion, it's a good time to write it down. And I have this that I bought right after my mom passed, and I've half-ass filled it out. I've been working on it again, and I'm dead. Now what? I got this from that online and catalog company, Lakeside Collection. You can find variations of this out in the world. There's another version of this that says Peace of Mind Planner with the same insides. I'm blunt. What can I say? I'm dead. Now what? And if I pass away unexpectedly or expectedly, my family knows to go look for the binder to come settle my affairs. I have also been working on writing up a small will and my advanced health directives for healthcare decisions, so that there's official people in charge. I don't have a lot, but I do own my own home. I own my car. I have my gizmo, my fur baby, that will need to be taken care of. And these are things that need to be addressed. My mom didn't have much. We just had to clean out her apartment, let people know, plan the funeral, all of that. But it wasn't like separating out an estate. I don't have much, but I have a little bit of an estate. So it's about making decisions about who gets what. And this Peace of Mind Planner is very handy. Now, I'd like to point out this. This was my addition. It's just a little pouch with a flash drive in it that has digital copies of things like the Advanced Healthcare Directive and the will, in case the paper copy is lost. But it also has things like music I like for services. It has pictures of me or family that I like, and if they wanted to do a slideshow or print out photos or anything like that, these are the ones I approve. Please do not have a service for me and then use fugly pictures. Please don't. Please don't. I also have other flash drives that have similar information in my important documentation. I mean, there are things like a copy of my driver's license and social security card, digital copies of that on there. And I keep one of those in my emergency bag too, because you just never know if you're going to be out in the world without your wallet, but it's possible to at least have a digital copy of your important information. Now, per the introduction of this book, it does remind you that while this is a valuable tool for those left behind to help them, or if you become unable to speak for yourself, it is not a legal document and does not replace that will and stuff. But we start with things like your personal information, the the obvious things, where you keep a spare post office box key, where your address is, your social, where you have important documents, who your siblings and family members are, your family in general, where your will is located, where if you have religious leanings, what those religious leanings are so they can plan appropriately, what your organ donation plans are. My particular organ donations plans are take it all. When my mom passed and I had to talk to the people about organ donation, I knew she was on board with that, and if we could help anybody with that donation, I wanted to. But they asked about things like, skin, eyes, everything. And just for your information, take it all. Take it all. Just for example, who your doctors are, if you have an attorney, who to contact at the time of my passing. For example, my oldest sister is my primary, with my younger sister being a secondary. And then if they can't get anybody else, they're calling my best friend. And she also knows this kind of stuff. Who are my dependents if I have them? What kind of important documents? Financial information. Business information. My pets, there's a place for my gizmos information. There's an information about what my bills are. So, don't forget to cancel with my propane company or my electric company or the water bill. Who gets my house, of course, which was a hard decision to make, social media logins so they can go to my Facebook and do the things. Basic information, and even a last page for last words. So that is what I've been working on. And that is something that I highly recommend doing and or getting or having noted down and making sure that people know where to find it. Because wills are great. Advanced health care directives are great and very important. But a lot of people are not comfortable having those discussions about end-of-life preferences. I would prefer to have a natural burial. Those are actually a lot harder to come by. And the places around here that I could potentially have that, I don't love. I like things very lush and green, for example. I am from Texas, and I'm from the hill country, and where it's beautiful and green and moist, and humidity is not a problem for me, generally speaking, although I have acclimated to a drier territory. That being said, because this is a drier area, the conservation areas where they can do natural burial, for example, up near Albuquerque, is very flat grassland dry. And they just do a GPS thing, and there's no headstone. They can possibly have a natural marking stone, but it's mostly about GPS coordinates. And by doing it natural conservation way, it means that that land can't be developed in another way. That would be my first preference. But that is also expensive. And once again, and there are other ones in other states, and there's one in Texas. It's just gorgeous. I've seen online, but it also has the difficulty of if I'm still in New Mexico at that time, I deal with the transporting the body over state lines to do it, and that's a very difficult, awkward process, and I don't want my family to have to deal with that. So my secondary is please straight cremation. I do not want embalming. I do not want open casket options. I do not need a casket. Put me in a cardboard box and throw it out in the garden or off a mountain if that makes you happy, or whatever makes you happy that way. What happens to my ashes after I'm done, I don't care about, although I do not need any $200 urn, please no. But I do not want an embalming, and I do not need people to see me. That's not, my mom never wanted that. We wound up doing that for other people's peace of mind, and she would have been mad. She would have been mad, and that's not what I'm at. That's not what I'm about. But having that kind of information noted, where Your wishes are clearly known is so important. So that's where I'm at. That's what I've been working on. I hope that you have some plans for yourself, and even if it's just a little notepad, or everybody's got a box or something, or a note folder, something where they keep important information. And if you don't, you should, and just write a few things down. What's the music you like? Which are the pictures you like? I mean, I went through and made a folder with pictures from my childhood separated by year, that included me and my family and my friends. And then as I'm more adult, which are the pictures of me that I like? And you got to periodically update that as the years pass. Otherwise, you getting a 1970s beehive picture because that was the best one they could find, apparently. Um, Now you have a beautiful day. I hope that you are able to have those discussions with the people you love. I know it can be hard. My older sister does not like that stuff, but I just come at her with it, and I'm like text messaging her. I'm like, hey, are you ready? I have things I want to talk about. Brace yourself. Are you okay today? Now, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will catch you on the flip side.